the stage of surrender, because after running or chasing for so long, or whatever the final stage of running and chasing, you are tired. You're simply tired of doing it. You're simply like, why am I doing this? What the hell am I doing? I shouldn't be doing this. This is complete waste of time. This is, and you also start realizing it. So while you're running and while you're chasing, you realize because of you giving importance to all those illusions, you are suffering and you are in the state of misery and constant state of misery. And you, since you have started doing the opposite of what you were doing, which is staying in the present, you have now started experiencing a state of surrender. And when you are in the surrender state, it may look like a lot of up and down, up and down, up and down going, someday something happening. But you start again, because if you're in the present moment, you start looking at everything with awe and wonder. Everything that comes to you, which is happening in your life on its own, you start seeing it like that. It is just happening. It is not something that I'm doing. It is not something that I'm forcing. It is not something that I'm being anxious about or depressed about. It is simply happening on its own, and it has got no connection with anything. There is no cause and effect and blah, blah, blah. It's just happening. One moment to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other. We're just living moment by moment by moment by moment. And when you surrender, the biggest thing that happens is that you now have faith. This is one very big element that a lot of people who are on this journey don't have. Sometimes people who don't know about faith, sometimes people who don't reach the surrender state, they will probably keep running either for paradise or for hell. And trust me, I have met a lot of people who are stuck in paradise. It's a life that can actually suck you in. It's a life that you may want to do forever. You may want to think that I'm going to continue living my life like this for the rest of my life. And that way, nothing I need to run from, nothing I need to chase from, or nothing I need to chase. But you totally don't realize that that is a trap. There are some people who are in low frequencies, like going for a lot of parties, doing a lot of drugs, changing partners every now and then. This is something that they had left before the spiritual awakening happened. They had already left this. All of this was gone. But because of all the testing and the crisis, they probably thought that we could go back to this life, And then they realized, oh, no. This will only happen at the surrender stage. This sort of great grace of God, this sort of great mercy of God, you'll say, or the supreme energy will happen. Sooner or later it will happen, but it will happen depending on your karmas and how you're facing the unspent energy. Karma is basically the unspent energy which has not been understood properly. So when you start understanding your unspent energy, that's when you start surrendering. You start saying, all right, man, let me just let it go, man, let it go. All these fights and all these problems, all these notions I have about marriage or love or career or money or anything for that matter, all these notions I have for living standards, for lifestyle, for being happy, most importantly, the standards that people set, the beliefs and concepts that we form, which we term as beneficial to being happy, like helpful in being happy, we realize that that's a sham, that's an illusion, that's a delusion. You basically don't need anything. You're just a perfect creation of God. You may be imperfect or you may not be complete according to whatever standards that have been set by the society or the world. But as an individual entity, as a creation of nature, you are a perfect divine creation. You're perfect divinity. And that's the truth, that you understand that despite all of those notions, you are a perfect creation of nature. And when you understand this, then this concept is clear to you, you start surrendering, and surrendering will happen at a very rapid speed sometimes. Sometimes it's almost like, you're just going like a rocket. Surrender is also not easy, let me tell you, because it's almost like dying many deaths, dying every day, because a lot of your beliefs, a lot of your concepts are like getting broken now. They're getting thrashed now. They're going into the dustbin. And it's almost like, okay, I have been carrying these things, these notions with me for so long. Like I wasn't forgiving someone for this reason, or I was acting very tough with one of my parents, or I was being really difficult with my family members, or I was really giving a tough time to the person who is in this journey of life with me. And I've always been like that in my past relationships as well. And I've been mirroring this kind of pattern, and I've been either chasing people away or I've been running from people. So I have to stop doing it now. And it is high time that I stop doing it now, because that doesn't lead to anything. and I don't need to do it. It is the unspent energy which I have really understood well as to why it was there. It was just to help me grow further. So all the negative impacts you have in your mind, or all the negative experience that you call negative experience, you will also start thanking them. You will also start saying that, okay, thank God that I met this person and I had this type of emotion. Thank God I was in this job and I had this type of situation. Thank God that I was in this type of a family, that I had chosen a family template like this, that I had to go through all this. Thank God I was born in such a region. Thank God this, that, blah, blah, blah. Everything will start looking like a blessing to you. That's when you start, that is the state of surrender. And then it leads to radiance, and radiance is like glow. You have this beautiful glow, you have this beautiful aura, you have so much love for everyone, you have so much understanding, you bring so much joy to people. You light up places, and sometimes you may not even go to any place. You're just in so much balance, like a phone call that comes to you. You speak in such a way that you make people feel relaxed. Ease out their tension. You are there for people, and now you want to be for people. You want to give out your love and compassion, or whatever joy you have, whosoever you are by that time, you want to give it out to people very selflessly. You don't have any reasons for doing it. You don't want to earn money out of it. You don't want to be famous out of it. You don't want to do anything. You just want it for everybody. Lots of such things happen. This is just one aspect of it. Then there is an overall peace that comes on you. There is an overall understanding that all the notions about age, about money, about standard of living, about your certain level of work that you have, or certain type of relationship that you've been thinking in your head is the best relationship, certain kind of marriage that you've been thinking in your head is the best, you realize that that's really not true. You can be very happy in whatever you have as well. And then comes the harmonizing. So when all of these things happen, that's when you start harmonizing. So it's almost like the last part where, all the masculine and feminine is actually coming together. It's almost like getting locked. Now it's getting sealed, before launching a spacecraft, there's a docketing that happens. That sort of docketing is happening with the mothership. The mothership is the source, and you are that individual entity that has been going through the source. You start harmonizing, and then this is like a journey. This is a twin flame journey, and the reason why you're in a twin flame journey is simply because this is a journey of faith. This is a journey of belief. So many years and so many lives you have had the wrong faith and the wrong belief. This is the time when you need to break through all those beliefs, form a proper belief system, a natural belief system, understanding that you exist and understanding that you are there. When you say I am, or so hum, or main hoon in Hindi, it means you exist. You exist as what does not matter. You exist as this or that does not matter, but you exist. And when you exist and you accept your existence truly, deeply, with a lot of love, when you say that I accept myself truly, deeply as I am, exactly the way I am, that's when you're actually choosing to be in a very different frequency, in a very different state of mind. You're actually going to be free from your burdens, free from your sufferings, free from your beliefs and notions. So that's all I have to say about this twin flame journey. That takes not only externally it is happening, but actual, energy in sync and energy coordination and subliming of the energy is actually happening inside of you, within you. That's the time when you are at the final stage of the twin flame journey. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this information video about the twin flame journey is helpful. The twin flame journey, in simple words, is the yin and the yang subliming and harmonizing inside of you, within you, and then whatever is inside of you will be reflected outside. So that's all for now. I would be creating more videos in case you have more questions. Do not keep your questions limited to yourself just because you think that it is an awkward question. Everything is going to happen at the same time, or maybe it will happen step by step. You do never know about it. But one thing leads to another. One thing will help something else. So if you have a question, you can always drop in those questions, and you would probably get an answer for it. Don't have to think that the question is awkward or weird. You would be facing those feelings. In short, you will be facing those feelings that people place and things and situations bring to you. And while you're facing it, it may be, sometimes you may be in an awkward situation, sometimes you may be in a difficult situation when others look at it, when the society looks at it, when the world looks at it, but you know that this is definitely bringing in some change and some sort of a help and some sort of a release. So please don't find it awkward. May you have more happiness and may you grow in this path, and may you grow and reach your goal. Thank you so much. Have a great time, people. All the Twin Flame information seekers, have a great time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.